Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be working on bag of tokens. And in this problem you start with initial power, initial score of 0, and a bag of tokens, given as an integer array tokens, where the value denotes the value of the token. Your goal is to maximize your score by playing the tokens. In one move you can do one of two things. You can either play it face up, and then you will lose tokens I power and gain 1 score. Or face down, if your score is at least 1, you can play the token, gaining tokens I power and losing 1 score. So in this first example, you have 50 power and 0 score. So you can't play the token in any way because you can't play it. You can't play it face up because you don't have enough power, and you can't play it face down because you don't have any score. So you just return 0. In the second one, you can play 100 face up, reducing your power to 50 and increasing your score to 1, and then you're just done. And so here's the other thing they show you. So if you play this face up, you reduce your power to 50, and you don't want to like play this face down to gain power because there's no more other token. And this one is kind of like a really clear example of the strategy for this. So you want to play the tokens in this order. You play token 100 face up, reducing your power to 100, and now you get 1 score. So this is done. Then you play 400 face down. Now you increase your power to 500 and you reduce your score. Then you play 200 face up, and you can play 300 face up as well. So your power will be 0 and your score will be 2. And so that's kind of the, this example provides like a really easy thing to do. Basically, whenever you need power, you want to play the token with the biggest power possible, right? So whenever you need power and you have some score, you want to play the biggest token you have face down. Because like, let's say we have 0 power, but we have score. Well, we can play any one of these face down and get that value. So why don't we just pick the biggest one? So here we have like a sorted array, and we can sort our tokens. And now it's pretty straightforward. So we have 2 pointers, the smallest token available and the biggest token available. And then at every single time, we're always just going to want to increase your score as much as possible. So if we can get more tokens, we'll get more tokens. And you might be able to like end early here. Like you might be able to have something saying like, well, I don't want to increase more power if I can't play more tokens later on. But an easier thing you can do is literally just keep going until you can't do anything else, and just record your score at every single location. Just maximize that. And then like one of these is guaranteed your maximal score, because the best strategy is just, play tokens face up as much as you can, reducing your power and getting score. And then when you need more power, play the biggest tokens you have available face down. So let's look what this is going to look like. So we'll have like S for score, and we'll have like a result over here. So our result will start off as 0, our score will start out as 0. So because our score is 0, we can't play anything face down, but we don't really want to. So we're going to always want to pick, we're going to pick the tokens with the least amount of power face up, so we can increase our score. So like we can play this one face up, and we can increase our score. So now our score will be 1, our result will be 1. Our power will now be 4. Then we go to the next one, and we can still, let's move this over here, and we can still play a token face up. We have enough power, so let's play this face up as well. Our score will now be 2. So let's actually delete this and just write it. There we go. So our score will now be 2. Our result will also be 2. So let's write it as well. We can write it over here to make it easier. So our result's 2. Our score's 2. Okay. And our power, we use 2 power for this one, so we have 2 left. So now we come over here. So now we can't play this one face up because we don't have enough power. So we want to play the biggest one we have available face down. So we'll play this face down. We'll get our power up to 12. Our score will be 1, and our result is still the best one we have so far is 2. So then this token's used. Now we can just do this all in one time. So we can actually use all 3 of these tokens, right? Because this is 12. So we can play all 3 of these tokens face up. Our score will then be 4. And oops. Our score will now be 4, and our result is 4 because that's our best so far. So we've used this token face up, this token face up, and this token face up. Now we're here. Now our power is 0 again. So once again, we'll just pick the biggest token we have available, play it face down. Now our power will go to 9, and our score will go down 1. Then we come over here. So once again, we will just use as many tokens as we can. So this one we can play face up. So our score will be 4 and our result will be 4. And then our power will go down to 3. And yeah, now we have these 2 tokens left. So basically, now we will just play 8 face down to get more power back because we don't have enough power to play the next face up. So we'll get 11 here. Score will decrease by 1. And then finally, we can play 7 face up. So our score will increase again and our power will go down to 4, I think. And then we're done. So this is like easier, like if you just record the result, because otherwise you basically have to check anytime you play a token face down to get power back. You only want to do that if you can play other tokens face up. You can do that, but it's just easier to calculate the result, like just maximize the result at every point and just keep going until you can't. And then you're guaranteed to hit at some point your score will be the optimal score. You just like maximize that. And that's basically it. So as long as you understand the strategy of like, I just need to play the biggest thing I have available face down to increase my power as much as possible because I can pick any of them. So the biggest one's always the best. And then when I decrease my power, I want to decrease it by as little as possible. So I'll just always pick the smallest one. So that's basically it. So let's code that. So essentially we're going to sort our tokens. And then we are going to have a result variable. We're going to have a score variable, and we can just have 2 pointers. So one's going to be the first, and one's going to be a length of tokens -1. And we can just run this loop. So while left is less than or equal to right, we'll just keep doing this thing. So if we can play a token face up, and I think it's face up, well, whatever, the one that reduces our power and increases our score, we'll do that as much as we can. So if tokens left is less than or equal to power, that means we can reduce our power and increase our score, so we should always pick that. So we will say score plus equals 1, power, subtract, whoops, tokens left. Yeah, so I think those are all the things we need. Otherwise, if we can't do that, then we will try to increase our power instead. So else, if tokens right, our biggest one, or not if tokens right, sorry. We can do this anytime our score is non-zero. So if score, then we can take our right and add to our power. So we can say score subtract 1, and this should be power, and power plus equals tokens right. We pick the biggest one we can. And also when we pick the left, we want to increment the left. And when we pick the right, we want to decrement the right. So if we can't do any of these, we're basically stuck. So if we're stuck, we should just return the result. Yeah, we should return the result. So we can else return a result. And also, so let's say we do pick one of these, we do want to see like, did our result get better? So here we'll just say result equals maximum of the resulting score. So we want to make sure we're not stuck. So this will make sure like if we can't do any of the 2 operations, we'll just return a result. And if we did do one of these 2 operations, then we'll just maximize the result. And we're guaranteed to get like the optimal score at some point in this loop. Like I said, you can also end early if you want to. Yeah, so now we just return a result if we were able to get through the loop. And yeah, so pretty good. And I think this is like basically the only way to do it. I mean, you might be able to do some DP stuff, but I think sorting is the best because you need to always have access to the biggest and the smallest. So here our time is n log n, which is easily fine because like this is only 1,000. And our space is 01 because we just have 2 pointers. But yeah, pretty easy one, just kind of a greedy sort solution. So yeah. If you like this video, please like it. And if you, yeah, and please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. So thanks for watching.